Hey, Andrew, it's great to be with you, and it's going to be a lot of fun tonight with this esteemed panel of UFOs. Before we start, I hope everybody's having a great holiday week. I hope you're enjoying yourself, having some fun, setting your goals, planning for next year. I'm sure you all are, but it is wonderful to be with all of you and to be with you as well, Andrew. Put a shout out, Andrew. Let's have them tell us where they're from in the chat. If you would, tell us where you are from in the chat. Would love to know that.
Good to see you guys. And Jim, can you believe it? This is the third quarter that we're wrapping up with the 53 challenge and the MUFO Action Plan webinar series. It's been 3 quarters now with since we launched the 53 challenge, and now we're wrapping up Q4 of the year. It just time goes by so quick, doesn't it?
It does. I always say that. I have a philosophy, Andrew. You've heard me say it a lot, whether it be building our business or what we do corporately. We got to have a strong fourth quarter, so that, and then you start the first quarter strong. And if you do those 2 things, your whole year takes off. So we've got some people who've had some incredible finishes to this year. We're going to get to talk with a little bit. And we're looking for all of you to have just a big start into the new year. There's so much being provided right now. Andrew, if you don't mind, I'm going to just show, hopefully everybody has seen that the digital catalog came out. That is available for US for ordering, as well as this has a QR code, which will go to the digital catalog as well. And that'll be coming out in all the other countries as well. It's sort of as we're moving through getting each one ready. But so instead of this big, bulky, expensive catalog, we have a thinner catalog with our top products. But the QR code takes you to, what'd you say? Tell me just a minute ago, Andrew, it was 100 and some pages?
I think over 112 pages that the full digital catalog has. So
man. So, when I look at this, there's one thing right away. I think, okay, I need to order myself a couple packs immediately. And I think, what is it, $7 for a pack of 5 of these? I mean, so order a couple packs of these so you have them to hand out at your product shows, at your kickoffs. And remember, when you hand this to somebody, make sure they're registered as a preferred customer, right? AC, because if they're not, it just goes to Market America. So you want them registered as a preferred customer. It's actually a great tool for us to be able to say, I'd love to register you as a preferred customer and give you a catalog.
Right. And like you said, the catalog, it highlights the best products, the staples that we've got.
Right.
Great conversation pieces. And then when you take them to the full digital, everything is linked directly to your website as long as they're registered as a preferred customer. So thanks for bringing that up. Yeah.
Yeah. And I know, Andrew, I'm excited. I was telling the group before this, I was showing stuff. I'm showing my new fix hair shampoo and conditioner. Look at this. Look at that new bottle. I mean, I am fired up for 2023 to get going, because we've got a lot of wonderful things happening as a company, and even more happening with you as the unfranchised owners.
Right. Speaking of wonderful things happening, I want to do a huge shout out to all the people that have made it onto the year-to-date leaderboard, the worldwide year-to-date leaderboard. Wow. If your name is on here, you're already a winner. This is a worldwide challenge, and we've witnessed things change quite a bit in the past couple of months. So this goes to show wherever you're at on the leaderboard, it's not too late to catch up and get that top spot. But congratulations to everybody that's on the leaderboard. We got a couple of people here with us today that we've handpicked from the selection in North America, and Jim and I are gonna be able to spend some time with them to pick their brains a little bit, and also to recognize their achievements and success. So we're doing this differently. This time we're not going to go through each category. We're going to pick a couple of people who have made it, made some good numbers on at least one or more of the categories. So first and foremost, I would like to welcome our director coming in from LA, Stephen who's had 7 personal sponsorships since the 53 challenge started. Welcome, Stephen. Great to have you on.
Hello, Andrew. How are you?
Very good. Thank you, Stephen, for joining us
Thanks
today.
for having me.
Now, next, we've got Kathy Bear, Executive Coordinator, also from California. She is on with us tonight because she's generated over 9,237 new BV and 267 new registered preferred customers. Kathy, are you on with us?
Hello. Hi, Andrew. Hi, Jim.
Hi,
Hey,
Kathy.
Kathy, great job.
Thank you.
And next we have Julie Lancito, National Supervising Coordinator, with 5 personal sponsorships. Get this, 20,926 new BV generated, along with 226 new registered preferred customers since the start of this challenge, since April. So Julie, are you on with us?
I am here. Hey, Andrew and Jim and everyone. Good
Hey,
to see everybody tonight.
Good to see you. Thanks for joining us today. We also have Aubrey Lewick, who is a professional coordinator. Aubrey has had 10 personal sponsorships, 162 business plans shown, 5,626 new BV generated, and 201 new registered preferred customers. These are getting harder and harder to say.
Aubrey is a worker, AC. She's a worker, and workers get paid.
Yeah, Aubrey, are you on with us?
Yes, I am. Hello.
Welcome.
Great job.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. And last but not least, would like to introduce Ms. Emily Pinedo, who is a National Supervising Coordinator, 27 personal sponsorships, 478 business plan exposures, and also 129 new registered preferred customers since April. Emily, how are you doing?
I am excellent. Hello, everyone. I'm excited to be here and thank you for having me here.
You are excellent, Emily. Holy cow, 27 personal sponsorships since April. Congratulations to everybody on this. And you know, I'd like to say, Andrew, too, besides the wonderful team we have online with us, but congratulations to every single person who is turning this in every week. You know, one of Dennis's major things was always stay the course, you know, stay focused, stay the course. And I know I've had people, I've seen them, they did it for 3 months and then they're like, oh, you know, it's just that extra work. I don't feel like doing it or whatever. And for every one of you who has turned it in every week, I give a huge shout out from our corporate team to you, because you have stayed the course on a very, very long challenge. We're very proud of each and every one of you for what you've done. It's really great.
Right. On that, I think, you know, a good question like that we can ask like our panelists on here today is what tips and tricks have you used to stay consistent, to stay the course, and you know, stay on top of the 53 challenge so far? So let's start with Stephen. Can you give us some of your top tips on how to stay consistent?
Well, first of all, we have to be absolutely that knowing that what this business is done for our financial and our business. And as what JR says, that the distance between one individual to a director is you are finding the 2 right people. And so understanding by consistently approaching people and qualifying people, that would lead to the right people for your business. And number 2 is that we have to absolutely understand or believe that marketandmarketshop.com is a tremendous opportunity to help people. And
Oh,
number three is that we have to believe that there are a lot of people looking for opportunity. Like nowadays, people don't have loyalty to their corporate, and so is that the corporate doesn't have loyalty to any employees. So although no matter how their position in their workforce, and so by having that understanding, you're just going out and massively to talk to people and just like qualifying people and bring the right person on board.
All right, thank you, Stephen. Great tip. Aubrey, how about you? Look like you got something to say on the topic.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, I invest in people, and it's like I invest in people and building relationships, and I do a lot of networking, especially where I live. It's kind of like a small town, North Carolina. But that's how business is done. It's like I'll take time with people, even after a networking event, and go to Chick-fil-A with them and sit down and have a meal with them or have an iced tea. And the more people see you, the more they know that you're serious and you're not like a one-hit wonder. They're like, wow, like she's really building her business. But I invest in people. I invest in, meeting people, making it part of this business. And it's so much easier. It's so easy to meet people and to book appointments because what do people do at networking events? There's always something there. They're looking for something. A lot of them are not even business owners. Some are working for marketing. They're doing the marketing and they're looking for better ways. So you just have to get out there and just talk to people and build the relationships. And it's not just a one-way street. It goes two ways. So even if it's not a fit for us, I'll say, hey, let me help you with your business, or let me plug you into some things that are going on in our community to help you grow what you're doing too. Because if they see that you're a team player, then they know that you're genuine, and I think that's so important too, really investing in people.
Yeah,
Sure.
that's great.
Yeah, great tips that resulted in 10 sponsorships. How do you find it difficult to stay consistent?
No, I'm on a mission.
There
It's like,
is-
I'm on a mission right now. Remember like the clock? Like I have this clock, remember it's from convention, and I look at it, it's Lauren's clock, because it's telling me don't waste time. Don't waste time. And we all know that we only have a limited amount of time. And every day I wake up, sometimes I get up at 5, sometimes I go all the way to 11 or 12 because we cannot waste time. So that's what makes me move. It's just, we have to make things happen today,
Wow.
Before it's too late. Yeah.
I agree. I think we've learned that in the last year and a half, especially, haven't we, Aubrey, with understanding that time is precious. It's something JR taught us over and over. As I go back, and I'm sure a lot of you are doing this, you're watching his videos or listening to his audios, and every one of them talked about time and how precious it was. And his real mission was for all of us to be able to get our time back by getting the money out of the way, and by also doing something we love while we're doing it. Because, as they always say, if you do something you love, you never feel like you're working. Right. And I think I see that in all of you as we look at this. Emily, I'd like to ask you, 27 personal sponsorships. All right. Where are you finding these people and talking to these people? And tell us what 478 business plans. Here's what I'm going to tell you. That is a lot of work, but it's going to pay you. And as you know, what you're doing this year is really going to click in next year, the year after, and the year after, and then the decades after.
Yeah. All right. So for me, the biggest thing was for me to believe in myself and for me to follow the system, key thing, and for me to work with mentors. That was big. But the finding of the people, what happens is it's all your mindset. The thing is, when you meet people and you're building a relationship, there's something that they have to trust about you. And so one of the things is when you're showing the compensation plan part one of the things is you're building a relationship there. You're not moving forward until you identify what their needs are. And so you have to problem solve. You identify what they're looking for, and then you deliver it. Those are such huge things. And it's just, it's manifesting in every way. I hope you guys don't think I'm weird in that way, but because of what I've done in the past and what I am doing now, and how much the system that we have, and you have to follow it to the T, you have to be coachable and you have to work with your team.
Right.
And your team is so really important. If you don't give opportunities a time to develop and you're hopping from one place to another, it's not going to work. You have to master what you're good at. Those are very important things, is because one of the things is, even if they don't believe in themselves and they believe in you, they're going to set that second appointment. Some of the key things for me is I've learned to apply what I've been trained at. I don't take everything that I've trained at, but key things, and I apply it. And another thing is, I wouldn't show the plan, you guys, in the beginning. I didn't have any confidence in myself, but my business wasn't going anywhere. It wasn't going anywhere because I was depending on other people. It's like when I became me and showed the plan to the individuals of what their needs are, and that's where it happens, right there. So how do I get all those appointments? Okay, so all of you know the momentum sheet. Every single one of you, it says 10-3-2 or 3-1-2. Do you want to set 15 appointments a week, or you want to set 5 appointments or 1 appointment? It all depends on you. So if I have a cancellation, I don't know what you guys do with your cancellation. I make phone calls. I tell my team, you had a cancellation. Don't be upset. It's a no for today. Now you have to set more appointments. Key things, simple things. Don't stress over the no's. Judy Hitchner used to say, Emily, it's only for today. So key things like that, when you set that in motion in yourself, you're very powerful. You really are believable because you believe in yourself, and everybody you meet, it's just finding what they need. That's all it is. Solving the problem.
Doing a great job of finding what people need, Emily.
Yes.
Congratulations on that. That's wonderful. And good coaching for everybody as well. You know, I'm a big sports fan, as a lot of you guys know, and I'm a big basketball fan. And it was interesting hearing you find certain things and really do them. One of the teams, you know, that's really been on a tear in the NBA has been the New Jersey Nets. They've won like 9 or 10 in a row. And I was listening to what they were saying. The coach said, I came in and I simplified everything. I just tried to make what is going to win us games. And, you know, I think that's what you guys have all done, is what's going to win. And that is showing the plan. That is moving BV. That is coaching your team, and getting people to events, but you've kept it the basics instead of going off in 32 different ways. Because I think we all know JR always used to say, you got to be able to block and tackle better than everybody else. He said the basics are everything. And you guys are great at that. Andrew, I'd like to ask Kathy, and then we'll go to Julie. Kathy, you have produced a lot of new BV. Remember, when we see these numbers, that's new BV, not just BV, new BV. What have you been doing, Kathy, to generate that?
I think a lot of it is just like what Emily was talking about too, you know, is my belief in the products first, you know, and how good they are, how much people truly need them. But then it's also building that relationship with your customers and listening to them and offering them more solutions. I'm a big fan of, the trial size marketing, and thermochrome. This is a great one for right now. Everybody should be going to their New Year's Eve parties with these in their pocketbook, right?
I'm ready for New Year's Eve.
Right?
I'm ready, Kathy.
Because Jim and I were talking about how much people gain over the holidays, and it's crazy. So, not only are we going to talk to them about their business, maybe their pain of that they've charged a lot on their credit cards or something like that, but that also that they need some energy and maybe slim down a little bit. So perfect things with the V6. One of the things that I use a lot is the app, the marketing app. I love it because you can easily, quickly connect with people, share information, follow up with them. And I mean, sometimes when I'm on lunch, I'm a dental hygienist. So when I do lunch, a lot of times I'm all alone, I'm eating there, and I just grab my phone and I'll just flip through the marketing app and just connect with customers that maybe I haven't connected with. But I think a lot of it is just having that high touch with a person, showing that you care about them. People really respond well to that. Just like, we like people that check in with us, right? And say, hey, how are you doing? Not even necessarily to like get them to look at another product, but just to check in with them and build that relationship. And that's it. It's having that open heart and open ears to listen to what they need and bringing that to them.
Oh, that's great. That is great. Well, you've done a great job with it. And, when you listen to people, what do we always say? They tend to talk about a couple things, right? And one of them is they tend to complain. My knee's hurting. I need to lose weight. Kathy and I were talking earlier today, and we said average person during this holiday season gains 6 pounds. Do you guys know that? Average person puts on 6 pounds. So we've got some things to talk to them about as we come out of this. Julie, you have done you talk about, I think it's over 20,000 in new BV. Tell us what you've been doing to generate new BV.
Well, a lot of what you guys have already said. I was going to say thermochrome, I may tell you, was a hit this fall, and I ran out of samples. I'm waiting for my samples. But one is, for one, I 100% believe in Market America and the business plan, and I absolutely love our product. And you will sell what you use. And so if you use all the product, it kind of naturally comes that you're going to sell a little bit more. And I just feel that people deserve to feel fabulous. They just do. And we have options. And I love educating people on the options that they don't know exist. And so it's just an ongoing education type of thing. Always for me, I know it's a surprise, but TLS is always a big one. I got so many new customers in November and December. And despite what people think, they'll say, oh, no one wants to stay on track for the holidays. Absolutely not right. I had about 30 people in TLS right through the holidays, November to December. So just kind of keeping going, connecting with people referring people. I'm really big on samples. I'm like, don't underestimate the power of a sample. I'm just cannot stress that enough. They're in my locker at the gym. I just recently had sold a bottle from a sample of thermochrome. When I don't hide the fact that someone bought a product from you. And when someone came to get their thermochrome, the next person said, what is that? And of course, I had another sample. From that, it was 3-way people that I sold just from someone sampling one thermochrome. I just use it all the time, anybody that I talk with. The tools that I use a lot are the health. If I'm in person, it's the health survey that we have that's in our unfranchised downloads. Super, super simple to go through that. If I'm virtual or long distance, I use the TLS lifestyle profile a lot because there are a lot of people looking for a lifestyle. And so, it's not
does that cost to send out, Julie?
What was that?
How much does that cost to send out?
Gosh, I think it's free.
It is free. Isn't that
It's the
amazing?
easiest
Everything
thing
you're
in the
talking
world.
about. I love it when people, well, I don't know if I can afford to do this. The things that make you money are free, right?
It's so
Showing the
free.
plan is free. Sending out the TLS lifestyle survey is free. Using the brochures are free that you can send from our app or the back office. I love when you go into that because I think it's important for people to remember that.
Yeah. And then there's 4 of us. We have a group of 4. We're the Focus 53 ND group is what we are. And we are in a text message. So we keep each other on track because, you know, we all have good days and bad days. We've even become deeper friends along the way, but we keep each other going on that. 2 of us, Val Myers is the other one, that 2 of the 4 of us are in multiple categories of the leaderboard. And actually Val and I planned the next quarter today. We actually had a little chatting of like, this is the goal, what we want when we hit the end of that the challenge. So we had that plan going today. So it's just sharing. And I get messages sometime, and I'm sure some of you guys do too. They're like, do you still sell isotonics or do you still have TLS? And I'm like, yeah. And it's amazing because I wonder how many people have lost out on a sale because they jumped to the next thing.
Yeah.
And it's like,
yes,
I am 12 years later, here I am. It's just like you guys are. And it's just the best thing to be able to give people physical health and financial health. It's a fabulous thing.
It is. And you know, that Pulse app right now, what a great part of our unfranchised marketing app to use Pulse to even remind us that, hey, this person hasn't bought in 120 days, right?
Yes. So I use that too. I'll go through there and see who hasn't. And I do a lot more in person. I'm just the person who loves to, I love face to face. I have that opportunity, but when we don't have that opportunity, then I have the app as well.
Right. That's amazing. Julie, if I'm hearing this correctly, it sounds like you get a lot of new customers from sampling and from referrals, and then you use the tools like the profile and the surveys to build share of customer on top.
Yes.
That it's no wonder that you've generated over 20,000 in new BV.
I can say every single person I meet, and I think that's not exaggerating, that I not meet in the store, but everyone that I have a connection with, that I am talked with, everybody takes the lifestyle profile from TLS 100%. Because one of the questions says, I'm not looking to lose weight, I'm just looking to be healthier. And that's the world. And so it recommends digestive health. It recommends if they say about sleep issues. So it really is all about a lifestyle, even though I understand it is on the TLS site. It's for everybody. So that is, and it's so short. It's literally like 3 minutes or less. So very, very easy for them to just find what they need.
Love it. I'd like to go to Stephen real quick, because Stephen, you've had 7 sponsorships, but you're not just great at bringing people into the business. You're also great at being a wonderful, supportive, and a tremendous sponsor. Can you talk to us a little bit about your system? Do you have a system when you get somebody started in the business? How do you get them moving along and eventually get them building base 10, 7 strong, and developing a successful business?
Well, for myself, it's very important to plug them into the system. So for my sponsors, at the time they sign up, they have to buy the convention ticket. And that's very important, because without them seeing the big picture, it's very hard to move them to be able to kind of like build a business on themselves or for themselves. So just one case, it was about a month before the convention. So I signed up this person, and then at the time she bought the ticket, and she went to the convention a month later and bought 3 more tickets, and also going into the product symposium. And so by going to major event that short of a time, she built up her belief, and nowadays she's actually pushing me to give her the private coaching instead of I'm demanding the time to do that. And so it's very important to have them see their future in the business rather than we kind of want them to do something. And so that's what a big part of my sponsorship.
Wow, that's a great tip. So, you're telling me that you're not the one teaching them or being the resource forever. You're just pointing them towards the resource, which is
Exactly.
That's
Exactly.
That's working smart there, Stephen.
Thank you.
Got to work smart. Got to work smart. And Stephen, you're very good. And I know this. I mean, when you bring somebody in, you travel if you need to, and you spend the time there to get them up and going. I mean, and when I say travel, I'm not talking New York to New Jersey. You're going California to Hong Kong or wherever it is you bring that person in. Because I think we all need to understand, well, what we're doing online is fantastic. And we need to keep doing that. There is something that gets built when we are together that cannot be replaced. And I think we've all been feeling that the last couple months. I'm starting the year with 3 HBPs the first week. I am so fired up right now. You know anyone in Dallas? Let me know. I got two there on Thursday and Friday. So, but
Wow.
Stephen, you've done a great job with that. Is that
Thank
a key
you.
to your success?
Yeah, it's very important, especially the way we build our business. And I build my business internationally. I have people in Malaysia, Singapore, Hong Kong, Taiwan, and US. And so for myself, bring them to the major event in that particular country. It's very important, and not to mention that we demand those people who truly believe in the business to come into the US to see the convention. And currently in March convention in Florida, so far we have 45 people travel from Hong Kong and Singapore and so on. And you have to understand that for them to come in, they have to spend $5,000 for each person. So it's a major decision to do, but yet it is important enough that they make the decision and come. And also, although that we understand we've been using Zoom for the last 3 years, and although it's good and bad. I mean, after all, this business is still in-person business, but especially the type of business that we are, or the way of the business we're building internationally, I could not credit Zoom for what it has done in the last 3 years. And so, although it's a little bit tough, I mean, I have to get up 6 o'clock in the morning, where in Asia it's 10 o'clock at night. And so we both have to kind of stay late and come in the early morning, but yet it could be done as long as we have enough drive to work together. So definitely the Zoom, it does help.
Wow.
Yeah, you said a ton right there. 45 people from Hong Kong, $5,000 a person. But if they're investing in their future and what they're going to be able to build and go, and the belief, as you said, and I think you also said, Stephen, if I heard you right, and I think this is important for everyone to understand, it's not one or the other. I think some people think, oh, I'm on Zoom or I'm in person. No, they both have huge things that need to be done together. Julie said, I'm better when I'm talking to people, but I know she uses Zoom for different things as well. I'm better when I'm with somebody, but I love Zoom for different things as well, like a part one. So I think, the world needs to understand, our world, that we're going to use this is going to be a model we use going forward that's going to allow us to build at a distance. But the bottom line is, eventually we better get there too and build the relationship with the person.
Definitely. Just like right now, I came back from Hong Kong about a month ago. I sponsor a few people, so I'm doing the weekly coaching for them. But next week, I'm going back to Hong Kong. So now I'm setting up physical appointment with them in Hong Kong. So for the first week I'm landing there, I'm already fully booked. And so we have to gain both the physical and the Zoom to be completely functional in terms of a close personal sponsorship.
That is great.
Right. And, the silver lining is, you get to write off all of these trips as well. You must be some platinum diamond member on your air miles.
Well, take a look at my income tax there, a huge chunk of travel expenses.
Yeah. Emily, I'd like to ask you a question to go a little bit further in depth. Earlier, you mentioned several times, you find what people need, and you listen to them to what they need. What do you have a set of questions that you like to ask, or that's sort of is your fallback questions to help you get to find out what people need or what they're looking for?
Definitely. One of the things is when you are building a relationship, it is about them more than anything.
Yeah.
Not what and then what I could offer. The biggest thing is, like I mentioned earlier, solving the problem is just listening. It's either wellness or it's the business. They'll tell you, they will share information that's very critical, and you have to become a listener. And when it's your turn to speak is when you talk. The fact is, what really works is with all of these new partners since April, you have to have a system in place. So what I do is we have a feel-good group wellness event. They get to meet other people, okay? And they get to meet us and they learn about the product, and it's not about the business at all. And we use the team. We have a health professional, we have massage therapists, we have a variety of different people, but I like samples big time. OPC book, Live Better Longer. I spend the money on them. I hear something, can I send you something? Can I invite you to a Zoom? Whatever it takes. And then the magic begins. They start asking questions and I do the answering, and then I plug people in. Just brought a lady in a month ago. She's already sponsored 4 people.
Wow.
She's working on the chairman's challenge.
Oh,
And
is
it's
great.
just solving the problem. But it really truly is when they trust you, they literally, because you let them be them.
Yep.
And then you lead to what they want. And it's really that, like, there's no, every conversation is not the same. I don't have a script. You can't use a script. It is, I learned a huge lesson. I was so nervous in the beginning. They'd rather have you be you because they know you that way than you being a script. My friend Joanne, I was a script. And she said, who are you? I don't even know who you are. And that was like a key thing to me. So when you fall, get back up and learn from the mistake. Go to your senior partners, ask questions. What can I be doing better? Our business is open 24/7, but you better be open 24/7. I'm open 24/7. They need me at 11 o'clock, I'm there. If I'm driving, somebody calls, I'm there to answer questions. It is just giving them the type of treatment that you'd like. I learned from Joanne Sheen. I just happened to sit with her on the airplane and I said, can I just ask you one question? What is your biggest tip? VIP, not only customers, VIP or UFOs that you bring in. So don't expect them to do something you're not willing to do. Don't overtrain them to the point where they don't know which direction to go. And, it's not about them it's you about developing them. Big, huge things is helping out in that way. So I agree with everybody here, the samples, the VIP part. And I do, when the new partner does come in, I do spend 2 hours with them training, and then I plug them into the system. To me, it's the connection part of it. So, and then that way, then you could say this, I set myself free from ever working for anybody else. Big,
Sounds
huge
like you do a great job, Emily, of getting your new people to generate customers as well, which I always think the first
from the beginning.
The
Yeah.
first win for a new person is those customers, isn't it? Right off the bat.
It is.
How many customers can we help them get so they get retail profit, generate BV, and feel like they're succeeding right away?
So one of the things is my sponsor said to me, Emily, 50-60% of your best customers will be UFOs with you. I joined the business, you guys, to get product that cost. There was no way I told her I would ever build the business. But the thing is, what happens? The magical products, you change from the products, you feel good, you start sharing. The more you share, more customers come. Now all of a sudden you got customer base. Oh, wow. And you're not worried about anything else because you're not worried about finding the two people. People start asking you, and that's the mindset you have to be at. They will come to you. They truly will. You can't have that negative, oh no, it's never going to happen. Or one of the things is be a team player, a problem solver. So if somebody is having a difficult time, be that earpiece for them, and not the point where you not doing what you're supposed to be doing. You're not here. You're not their boss. They are business partners with you. They own their own business. And that's what you want to treat them like. A lot of people think people owe them something. Nobody here owes you anything. People you bring in, your responsibility as a mentor and as a coach is to help them succeed. Like JR says, we can't succeed until they do. So it's all about them, 100%.
Love. Thank you, Emily. I think this next question will be for everyone. I think it's important to know that we have a system that we can count on, but would just like to check in with you, maybe starting with Aubrey. What has the 53 challenge and the Master UFO program, what has that done for your business?
Well, I think accountability is key in this business, and consistency. Like Jim knows, I've been part of his accountability team, and it's like you can't start and stop this business because it has momentum to it, and it keeps you on track. But you also have to look at yourself at the end of the week. Like, what did I do this week? Am I on track? Did I, how much did I retail? How many plans did I show? If you're not showing enough, you need to go out and do more, or do more calls, right? Or just what they say, do more. So it is definitely growing my business. It's exciting because when you're excited, your team's excited. A lot of people are half activated, and just like everyone else says too, I try to move as fast as possible, getting in front of their people, doing the product shows right from the get-go. So that I love retailing because I call it today money. You can make money today. And I still get excited over retail, like I just do. But I think it just keeps you on track. You have to be accountable, and it's a 2 to 3 year plan. So like this gives you track to run on and to stay on track. So it keeps you accountable, right?
Right.
Yep. Awesome.
Thank you. And Kathy, how about you? What has the 53 challenge and Master UFO program done for you and your business?
First of all, just the homage to Dennis, right? I personally was on his team and did accountability to him every week. And so this is part of my keeping it going, staying the course, right? Staying focused for him and what he believed I could do. And then also for my business and the growth of that. I love the simplicity of it. It's the basics of building the business. And if we follow that, then we'll grow, and so I love at the end of every week, I always, as I fill it out, I go back and I look at the things that maybe I wasn't as high on my achievement as they should have, but those things where we need to, it's always that measure, monitor, adjust, right? And so having the accountability, being responsible for that, going, okay, I got to get that in, right? It makes you strive for those things, to attain those things, and also then to support your team to do that as well. And so I'm just really grateful for it.
Awesome. Thank you, Kathy. Julie, how has the 53 challenge and Master UFO program affected your business?
For one, I love challenges. I'm the queen of checklists. I think Jim has probably heard me say this a million times, but if there's a challenge, a checklist, that's what I love, because it helps me stay down the little yellow brick road of where to go. Because how do you know what you're supposed to do if you don't have a checklist, I guess? Right. And we can easily get distracted. And like Kathy said, it's very, it's exactly what the tips are of of where we can build our business like that. And of course, super honored to be part of Dennis's challenge. Like from the get-go, when it was announced, I'm like, this is definitely for me. I mean, it's a checklist and a challenge. Commitment wise, being a full year, definitely, you had to, it's good to, you kind of see the people come out of the gate and running for it, and then all of a sudden they kind of disappear. And that's kind of like with business in general. And you really had to kind of like hunker down and, every week and week by week, and seeing where you're at. And like you said, monitor and adjust. And so it really helps me stay on track, and with the group that we have that are focusing on that. So when it helps me also when others around me maybe are taking a little bit of a break from business, because that happens. I don't take a break like that. I'm not going to take a break. So I just kind of keep on going and looking at that checklist. And so it's been really good. I also keep the widget on my on the computer for like Master UFO and convert spending to earnings. So I have that widget on the main part of my unfranchised. So every time I open my unfranchised, which of course is multiple times a day, it reminds me of where I'm at. So that if you have not sponsored somebody, you better get to working. I mean, and so it tells you right there every day how much BV, IBV, it's just checklist is there. So it literally keeps me on track, keeps me focused, because sometimes I get frustrated when other people around us don't understand what we have in our hands. And I'm like, why can't everybody see what we see or I see or something? And so just that checklist and knowing those of us in the 53 challenge are just focused and moving forward and really staying the course is really, really a big one and powerful.
Wow, love it. And I think you said something, Julie, that I feel every week I do that. I think Kathy said this too. When I go to do the checklist, I notice what I didn't do. And I think, wow, all right, Jim, you can do better than this. Did you look at your goals? Did you listen to an audio? Come on, do the low-hanging fruit on this, right? Do the stuff you should be doing. And I think you guys both mentioned that, which I think is really important. It's not always what you did, it's what you didn't do and you adjust to do in the future.
Right. So just from even listening to you guys, I'm thinking I have got to start showing more plans. I'm so impressed with Steven's team and all coming from Hong Kong. I'm like, I need to work a little harder up here in North Dakota. And I guys,
you can't complain about North Dakota anymore, Julie. Steven's people are coming from Hong Kong. Come on.
I can't talk about the high Delta flights from Bismarck anymore. No.
Yeah, no, yours is like a hop, skip, and a jump. That's
I know. I'm going to use your story, Steven.
Stephen, how about you? What has the 53 Challenge and Master UFO program done for your business?
Well, for myself, I think it's a great opportunity for me to lead by example. I mean, I was guilty. I took some time off, receiving one diamond every year. So that puts me in a kind of like retirement mode. And a couple of years ago, I kind of see the organization has kind of like sat back a little bit, especially when pandemic started. So I said, well, I better get back to the trenches to work with my people and lead by example. And so from then on, and right now it's been 8 quarters, I meet the Master UFO. And also going to Hong Kong and show people that although that there are challenges since the pandemic started and everybody moved to Zoom. And I remember attending the GMTSS meeting in Miami. I will say that last November, December. I remember was Jim saying that easy has long-term cost. So I remember that saying, and so that's why I show my team that although we are getting too comfortable with Zoom, but yet this business is still personal business. You have to have the temperature to shake hands and to meet people, and especially for Chinese. We make business done on the dinner table. So we have to go out and eat and build relationship. So what I do is that I'm using this opportunity to set an example for my team that and although we are so comfortable with Zoom, but we still have to go out
Yes.
to start moving to a new momentum, especially post-pandemic. And although we're not giving up soon, still has its benefit, especially like us building internationally. But locally, we have to get back to the trenches and build it. And I saw that ever since that I started it, and then the whole recruiting, people are getting back into the recruiting mode. Yeah.
I love that, Stephen. It reminds me of something I learned from a partner of mine as well, from the Chinese culture, is saying that we're never in business together until our chopsticks are in the same pot.
Yeah.
Just sitting around for a hot pot. But
and Stephen, you know, when you mentioned that about easy has long-term consequences, it was JR who told that to our team and said, I know this is great right now. I know it's going well and people are coming on board, but easy has long-term consequences unless we get with the people. He
Yes.
saw that, you know, ahead of time.
Yes. Yes.
And last but not least, Emily, tell us what the 53 Challenge and the Master UFO program has done for your business.
Well, like Stephen said, you know, getting that ticket in somebody's hand. When I registered my business, I got a ticket to the regional and JR was there talking. And the 4th hour he spoke about, if you're going to build the business, you have to be a master UFO. And from 2006, I've been hitting the master UFO, no matter what happened in my life, no matter are there difficult times or what, but that responsibility for that, I wake up thinking about that. I love, like Julie said, the challenges keep me focused on track because it's a different business. You're not going to work. You're not responsible for anybody but your own time. And what are you going to do with it? And so it's like, those are the key things. This company saved my life. And because there was a blueprint from where I came to where I am today. And that's as simple as it gets. Just follow the master UFO, staying on course, staying focused and staying on course. That's what it is. And it is, people refer to me. It's like the people who say no and other people are looking, people referred to me. And I'm also traveling all over the place. I hit national supervising coordinator during COVID. And, you know, thank God for Zoom, but I'm going to meet my partners now in person. Okay.
Well, what's going to happen now? Uh-oh.
Yeah. It's there. There is, you can't build it without following the system. And accountability, I run accountabilities. I do, wellness events have to happen to your organization as it gets bigger. You can't just send your people off. If you're sending them to trainings, you're going with them. Yes, you are. You're going to be on there. If you want them to hit Master UFO, you need to show them the path. And the same thing, the chairman's challenge, you know, it's like the staying the focus, all of it. And the mentors from Dennis and from JR, you know, it's those magical things that they've done to build us to the relationship. And you get noticed by winning challenges. People recognize you and people want to ask you, how are you doing it? It's such a great satisfaction of this. And that's the big thing for me, is the fact that helping others succeed. And like you said, Jim, future director.
I know, future director.
I'm sorry, but that's, you have to see
when I
it.
talked
right?
to Emily, didn't I say it? I said, Lisa, who is this? She's like, it's future director, Emily Pinito.
I love it.
Instilling that happiness in your team also is big time, because they will also, it's normal. We all have a hard time with everyone, but it's just being patient. And like Julie said, you know, sometimes they're not where you're at, but the accountability part of it is working with the people who want to work is really important.
I think that's wonderful. Such a great message to send us, you know, off with Emily and team. Master UFO for everyone, right, Jim?
Yeah, you know, AC, I'm looking at Dennis behind you on your background, and you know, Dennis was always so proud He'd always be like, we got to have our master UFO pins on, Jim, when we walk out. Got to have them on because we got to show everybody that we're leading the way while we're working. And as we've talked about master UFO, I love that this discussion has occurred while we're talking tonight, and seeing that pin that Dennis always had on every time he walked on stage. And I try to emulate that and always have it with me when I walk on stage. I feel bad I don't have it on now. He's probably gonna get after me tonight, but you know, maybe I'll put it on real quick. I don't know. I don't want Dennis coming at me.
You're right. And with the new IBV enhancements, new IBV products that's been added to the roster, I just qualified for mine because of that this past week. I mean, it shouldn't be, IBV shouldn't be a reason or an excuse not to achieve Master UFO anymore. So congratulations to all of you who have who are on the call on the webinar today, who have achieved Master UFO this year or this quarter. And you know, let's keep making Dennis and JR proud. And Jim, why don't you send us off? Any final comments to close?
Well, you know, AC, what you just led off with talking about the IBV, I want to make sure everyone's aware, because these are big changes that have occurred. Things like having SNAP products that can be BV or IBV now, that can be put onto auto ship very easily. You know, I showed this product before. I just love this packaging. It, by the way, it smells great. I mean, my hair, if it would take the gray out, it'd be just wonderful, but it's good. It is fantastic. And BV or IBV. Then, you know, we were talking before this started with the team of superstars we have here. We were mentioning, AC, I think you brought it up, about some of the items that we're putting on special that now have IBV or BV. Wow. And then we talked about in the future, we're going to have sometimes limited time specials where we're going to have things. So IBV is going to explode coming up. I'm seeing numbers I have not seen ever. I'm seeing people on my team with over 600-700 IBV this quarter, because they are taking advantage of all the things we have available now to be able to do that. And that's going to keep coming. It's going to make it easier. That eliminates one reason you cannot hit Master UFO, right? Mm-hmm. How about the gummies? I mean, talk about an IBV item. Holy cow. And we're coming out with more things as well. So I know I get too excited. I'll be quiet, but here's what I'm going to send us off. AC always laughs at me because I get fired up. I'm going to send us off saying, you know what? It's been a great 2022. I am very proud of everybody on this call and everybody listening. And everyone will hear this as a recording, because we went through a tough time of moving from all really remote and doing everything by Zoom to in-person and Zoom. Now we're going more in-person and Zoom and making that change. Well, I think we are positioned, and I think you guys all believe this too, for 2023 to be a year that in the history books of Market America is looked at and said, wow, I wish I could have been there that year, because they tore this thing up that year and went after it. And I think that's where we're going. Set your goals, get ready, and we'll be there along with you the whole way for the ride, guys. And we'll have a lot of fun doing it.
Great. Thank you, everybody. Have a good night.
Thank you
Good
so
night.
much.
Thanks for being on.
Thank you. Thank you.
So much. Good night, everybody. Set your New Year's resolution. Woo!
That's
Happy
right.
New Year.
Yeah, Happy New Year.